talking about low organic matter. I wanted to ask you about this. Like I've been digging holes here and there and observing horizons in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, what I've found is, let's say I dig up a hole in the forest. I find that I'm getting straight up organic matter. And then underneath, it seems to me like it's sand, silt, and clay, just like you would think. But there's often no organic matter. So what I'm seeing is I feel like it's sand, silt, and clay, and then on top of it, straight up organic matter. So where does it happen in nature that you really have sand, silt, clay, organic matter?
Great question. So the thing that you're missing when you're digging the holes is there's still a lot of organic matter. You just can't see it because it's not brown anymore. It could be
in the sand, silt, clay. You mean in the A horizon?
Right, in the A horizon in the forest. Mm-hmm. There's still going to be a tremendous amount of organic matter, but it's going to be in what's called fines. So tiny little pieces of it, because the fines will always migrate down in the soil. And listen to this, crazy enough, the rocks migrate up. That's why farmers have stone walls around their fields, because every year they plowing up all these rocks that have begun to float up because the fines are floating down. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but this is how nature works.
Oh yeah, totally. And I 100% believe you. I guess just the samples that I ended up working with, which is not that many, is I just found that when I dug into that A horizon, I actually did the jar test and everything and found, I mean, there was organic matter, yeah, but very, very little. Like you said, 1% in a golf course, like probably 1%. Would you say an A horizon in a forest would be like about 1% or more than that?
I would tend to think it'd be more than that. And again, okay. I think that there's a lot of organic matter in what's called sloughed off roots, which are clear. You can't see them, right? So when those roots go down in that A horizon and they die or they slough off or
true that, yeah.
Right, the plant expands them bigger, they're going to be shedding organic matter in the form of border cells, root shoots, and slough. And you can't see that because it's going to be clear. And in the jar test, you're really looking for O. You're not looking for just organic matter. So you're looking for floating pieces like, chunk of wood. So the best place that I could tell you that you would see a lot more organic matter just because of the color is a prairie. A prairie could be 20, 30, 40 feet deep, A horizon. And it's going to be dark colored by nature. And that's because of all the organic matter that happens every year. Every time those grasses die off, they drop to the ground. Then they slowly break down by the bacteria and fungi. Well, they're breaking that stuff down. Pieces of it are falling off in the forms of fines. And when the water comes, it pushes those fines down deeper into the soil. So that prairie is going to have a tremendous amount of organic matter. So not more so than even the A horizon that I designed. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
And those are the richest soils on the planet. I think they're andesites and oh God, I got to think. Andersols and something other sol. And America, for whatever reason, I think 2/3 of our soil are these sols, which are highly beneficial for growing. I mean, that's why, when the pioneers first moved out through the Midwest, there's pictures of people in New Mexico riding on a horse, and all you see is their head because of the fields, the prairies. Problem is, as soon as they tilled those fields, those tall grasses could no longer harvest water out of the air, because when they're living, they're positively or negatively charged. They're going to grab all of those particulates in the form of moisture vapor in the air. Now, the humidity level in New Mexico is single digits, right? Dude, you breathe out there, you dry out. So when they knocked down those grasses, now that prairie had no way to recover because there isn't enough rain and there's no grasses or plants to capture that moisture, the little tiny bit that's in the air, and store it down in the soil, because that's what they did. They were water harvesting machines. So as soon as they knocked those things down and plowed it, now you go to New Mexico, it's scrub, it's, cedars, but very little grasses and prairies. There's some patches here and there, but that's only because the wind blew the organic matter to this little corner, and there was enough organic matter and a grass seed happened to land on it and start growing back up. But for the most part, New Mexico is just a desert. And same with Arizona. And those were highly fertile areas.
It wasn't like that naturally.
Yeah, no, we did it. We did it. I mean, we turned the whole Midwest into a dust bowl, for God's sake, for that exact same reason. And now some of those prairies have come back and they're gorgeous, but they don't have 30, 40 feet of A horizon under them anymore. They only got a few feet, but they're recovering. They're recovering.
As far as sand, silt, clay, organic matter ratios,